we just got the episode description for The Flash 908 titled Partners in Time. This is the episode before 909, which is where Oliver Queen, John Diggle, Wally West, and Bloodwork all return. For whatever reason, they all come back in 909, and 908, at least from what it looks like and from how I'm taking it, sets up 909 and Oliver Queen, mainly Oliver Queen, returning purely through 908. And it could be connected to Cobalt Blue based off what's going on in this episode. So in the description, it says, stuck in the past, racing to the future. A seemingly simple mold inspection of Star Labs leads to unexpected time anomalies. Whatever. Barry and Iris try to sense the confusion and figure out how to get back to their reality. Chester must secret to Allegra, which makes things awkward between them two. Allegra relies on Cecile to act as a buffer. Meanwhile, Keon meets an old friend of Team Flash. So there are two important things to point out here. Is Barry and Iris are stuck in another reality in the past, it seems like. And Keon is meeting someone from Team Flash who's an old friend. I want to focus on the Keon part first, because we're going to get that out of the way really quick. It's either Cisco or Harrison Wells. Sums it up right there. I bet money it's Harrison Wells. I would be genuinely surprised if it was Cisco. Would it be really good if it was? Oh, hell yeah. But I'd be a little bit surprised if it wasn't Cisco. Or if it wasn't Harrison Wells, I mean. I'd be really surprised if it was Cisco. So I hope it is either or, Harrison Wells or Cisco Ramon. If it is Cisco, great. But I think it's going to be Harrison Wells, to sum it up. But the reason I'm doing this video is because of that first part where Barry and Iris are in another reality or something. They're in the past, it seems like, and they're trying to get back to the future, aka the present. But to do that, they need to go through all these realities. Now, this makes me think it's Cobalt Blue, based on set photos we got of Cobalt Blue, the Blue Stone in 910, which is, again, related to Cobalt Blue. I think it's 100% connected to Cobalt Blue. You can't tell me it's not. The reality, it's a time travel. How 910 folds into the story arc with Barry ending up in the past where his parents alive. That's a reality. That's a new timeline. That's never happened before from our understanding. So, I think this all connects. And 909, again, with Oliver Queen returning, let alone as the Green Arrow, which Jessica Spectre can do that. But this one makes so much more sense if this is how Oliver comes back. We're in a reality where it's merging. Earth Prime is the timeline's changing, all that. And Oliver Queen ends up back on our Earth as the Green Arrow, maybe before this crisis happened. This is like back in season 8, Arrow. And we bring Wally back in season 6 of Flash. And we bring Diggle in present day. Which, by the way, could be which could be the old friend of Team Flash. That's how we get Diggle involved. Maybe he's in Central City. So in 909, when it starts, he's there, and that's when he runs into Oliver, and there's a crime going on. Barry's isn't there yet. So he goes, and he runs into Oliver there. And then Barry goes, sees Oliver for the first time. It's the emotional scene. And then we get Wally somehow, and there's Bloodwork, the big bad of the episode. I think that'd be the perfect way to play this story out. There's no other way they could play the story out where I would not be satisfied at this point. If it's not this way. I don't know how else they could do it. I mean, you're setting up the perfect story for it. All these realities. You're setting up Cobalt Blue. If this is what it is, 908, 909 would be the best setups of a story I think this show's ever had. If it's going the way I think it's going, it's going to be damn good. And I think 908 could be probably the second best episode of the season. 909 will not top anything in this season. Or sorry, it will top every episode of the season, but nothing will top 909. 908, I think 909 will top 908, but not by much. I think 908 is going to be a great episode, minus the Chester and the Liger crap. I don't think anyone cares anymore. But the main focus will be Barry and Iris in 908. Especially if Cobalt Blue's involved. I mean, you know, we're going to be setting that up. And also, that code figure that we saw in that 69 trailer that I talked about 2 or 3 times now, we're probably going to see him in 906. Or, sorry, 907. That's airing in 2 weeks. On March 29th. So, or sorry, not, yeah, March 29th, right? Yeah, March 29th. But I do think 908 is going to be a very, very good episode. It's 907 and 908 are going to top 906 no matter what, but I think 908 could be, because do we know if 909 is an interlude? Everyone keeps debating it. I mean, we don't really know. 908 is 100% an interlude. So if 909 is not an interlude, it's part of the main story, which I don't really know how it would be. But then again, this episode, it seems like it's going to be part of the main plot, just based off the different realities we're getting, the different timelines. Like, 908 and 909, if they're not connected, that's a that's a lost cause, because this could make even if it's not connected to Cobalt Blue, this could make a great 2-episode story arc. 908 and 909, you know, it could lead to seeing Cisco, it could lead to seeing Harrison Wells, it could lead to so many possibilities, and they're just going to throw it away at the end of 908. I mean, like, 909, no matter what, I will love the episode no matter what. Purely because of Oliver. That's the only reason I would even like 909. But, like, 908 seems very damn good. I mean, just discussion alone gets me hyped up for the episode. I mean, all these different realities. Again, Cobalt Blue screams, it just pops up right in your face when you read the description. It should. Who else can cause time anomalies and reality shifting and changing? You need extreme power to be able to do that. Bloodwork, he can't do that. He's not that powerful. Maybe the Spectre can, but why would the Spectre alter reality? That makes no sense. Unless something's going to happen to Barry, and he just changed it so he wouldn't die, I don't... That's the only thing I can think here. If it's not Cobalt Blue, it's a Spectre. But again, why would the Spectre do that? To protect Barry. But to protect Barry from what? Because right now, we don't have a big bad. We're stuck with these filler episodes with no real villain, you know? Which, if 908 has a villain in it, if it's not Cobalt Blue setting up the main next story, like, then who would it be? And we have a 2-week break between 908 and 909. A 2-week hiatus. Would they really set up this whole story in 909 purely to have a 2-week break and not set up a 907? Now, at the end of 907, if they set up, like, you know, Cobalt Blue, his first appearance at the end, fine. You can do a 908, you know, tie it to Cobalt Blue and then have a 2-week break. But I don't know how I genuinely feel about having a 2-week hiatus when we're getting into the main plot, in a way, kind of, sort of. But we're also focusing on an interlude. Because it's not, as far as I'm aware, 908 is an interlude. Eric Wells has not said anything about that. He said we're going to be doing the few interludes. We just got done with one. The second one's in 2 weeks. And the third one will most likely be 908 because they're airing back to back. You can't tell me they didn't plan ahead and say, hey, we need 2 weeks off between 908 and 909. Why not take 2 weeks off between 907 and 908? Or 3 weeks off between 907 and 908? Have no break next week. I mean, if 908 and 909 are connected, we're getting a 2-week hiatus, I'm going to be pissed. Because I don't see why they would do that now. Unless they're really trying to drag in viewers, which they don't really need to. They've been the same the entire season. The last several seasons, actually, 500,000 plus viewers, which is good for a CW show at this rate. But, like, it's just, it doesn't, whatever. No one's going to like the breaks. I mean, Simon Lowe said that all the time. We all hate it. Every show's done that. The Flash had it a lot last season, so it's like whatever. But it is kind of interesting. Like, are these two episodes connected? The breaks are what's throwing me off the most. Because as I keep saying, 909 doesn't air until April 3rd. Or sorry, April 26th. And 908 airs April 5th. So we have a 3-week time gap between these two episodes. It's like, would they really be connected then? I mean, again, unless Eric was like, hey, let's make this a massive cliffhanger and bring Oliver in here, then great. I think it would be an entire situation where it could work out that way. But what we gotta be dealing with is this connected to Oliver or not? Is this connected to Cobalt Blue or not? And we won't really know till the episode airs, which, again, April 5th. And then we got a 2-week hiatus. It's going to be an interesting another month, to say the least. A little over a month and a week. Because, we're getting 3 episodes in a month. When we should be getting, 5. But, I get it. They need breaks. I get it. They're probably working on CGI still for the last several episodes, so they're taking a break now. I'd rather have it now than during the Cobalt Blue story arc. But then again, 908 and 909 could be connected to the Cobalt Blue story arc. But I don't know. Like I said already, I think this would be the perfect way for Oliver to come back with all these realities coming in, the timelines changing. I don't know what else it could be. That or Oliver is causing the reality change, like I said already, but why would he do that? It makes no sense. So, there'd have to be a lot of explaining there. I think there's the most loose explanation to bring Oliver back, and it would work perfectly. Because guess what? We don't need to spend 10 minutes explaining why Oliver's back. We don't need to question when the episode's done. Hey, where's Oliver? How did he come back? Why didn't he come back sooner? That's our answer. He didn't. It's another reality Oliver Queen that's very similar to our Oliver Queen that died. Or it's an Oliver Queen pre-Crisis that's setting up to die in Crisis. And maybe Barry tells him that Oliver saved the world. And it could be a really emotional thing there. And because, Barry and Oliver, let's be real here. Barry has never been okay with what Oliver did. I think we all know that. I think 8/13, I think it was, proved that more than any other episode of the season or series as Oliver died. With us finally learning that Barry hasn't dealt with Oliver's death, at least entirely. And in 704, or 705, I believe it was, when Barry was stopping Abracadabra, and he said that Oliver was his brother, and that he tried changing the time to bring Oliver back, that straight up shows that Barry's not dealt with Oliver's death. So, no matter what happens in 909, whether this episode connects or not, Barry and Oliver are going to have emotional scenes. Eric Walls already confirmed that. It's going to be an emotional joyride for them too, and for the viewers as well watching that. But 908 could very well be connected. And I hope it is, because again, it would be perfect. It would be the best writing this show's had in years. Dead serious. It would be the best writing if this all connects to Cobalt Blue and it connects to Oliver's return. It would be perfect. The best writing any superhero show has had in years. This would be that. If they managed to pull that off, I would be so impressed, but also so depressed, because what the hell was 906 then, and why didn't you use that writing in 906? You could have used that writing then, not 2 episodes later, but whatever. It's just it could really work out, and it gets me so hyped up for it. It feels good to be this hyped up for The Flash again. I wasn't just Nate a lot. I was really hyped up just Nate a lot for every episode after 802, because I realized holy crap, this is a new show. But if looking past season 8, over the last several years from seasons 1 to 7, I've never been as hyped up for an episode. For 909, this alone 909, but also 908 now. Like, it feels really good to be hyped up for The Flash again. And I think it's going to pay off tremendously. So, yeah. Thank you guys for this video. Have a good day. Have a good night. Stay safe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.